I wanted to give this review to you guys before I do my top 10 best and worst list, and it is the review of The Interview, the new comedy that's directed by Seth Rogen and stars Seth Rogen and James Franco. And this movie has had like a crazy amount of controversy. You know what I mean? It was gonna get released, then it wasn't due to the threats from the hackers and so forth, and now that got released, and I just watched it right now. I downloaded the YouTube app on my PS3. I actually bought, I rented it on YouTube just so I could watch it on my TV, and now I'm going to give you guys my review. So The Interview stars, like I said, Seth Rogen and James Franco, and James Franco is the host of this talk show. It's basically like if Ryan Seacrest was a 10-year-old boy and he hosted his own version of like an Ellen DeGeneres show. That's basically the most apt description. And Seth Rogen is his best friend, and he's the producer, and they basically do shows that's nothing but celebrity gossip and everything like that, and they just talk about really silly stuff, the type of stuff you see on the TMZ show or Access Hollywood or whatever. You know what I mean? And Seth Rogen wants to be taken seriously. James Franco doesn't care because he gets tons of views, and that's all that matters to him. You know what I mean? But then they find out that Kim Jong Un, the leader of North Korea, is a big fan of theirs, and so they organize an interview. Everything goes well, but the CIA wants James Franco and Seth Rogen to kill Kim Jong Un, and now we have our spy thriller comedy type of movie. And I really enjoyed this movie. I really did. I love action comedies, and I love movies with a bunch of idiots who are thrown into a crazy situation, and this movie really does it. And James Franco was hilarious in this movie. You could tell the guy had so much fun doing this role. He says them. He actually got the best lines of the movie, especially with some of the stuff he says to Lizzie Kaplan, who was pretty good in this movie, though she's kind of underused, which is sad because she's super hot and she shouldn't be underused, but she was fine. But Seth Rogen in this movie, he's the straight laced man. He doesn't do a lot of crazy stuff though, but he is pretty funny in this movie. And I like the guy that they got to play Kim Jong Un. I don't know what the actor's name is, but that guy was pretty funny as Kim Jong Un. I really liked him. He was awesome. From the minute the movie starts, it basically tells you that to not take this movie seriously. The first scene is nothing but a little girl singing about how terrible America is. Like I said, you won't have to take this movie seriously. This movie is basically Team America without the puppets, but with live action characters and none of the cool songs. So unfortunately, there's no awesome song about a montage. I'm sorry to disappoint, you know. But my main problem with this movie is kind of like the middle portion of the movie. The movie really slows down. The movie actually got a little bit more slower with this romance between Seth Rogen and one of Kim Jong Un's teammates. Though I was like, you really don't need that in the movie. You know what I mean? It kind of actually took the movie down. And then when you get to the last 20 minutes of the movie, it does pick back up again. You know what I mean? But overall, I thought The Interview was a really funny, really decent comedy. The movie didn't deserve all the controversy it got because it's a silly spy movie. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty enjoyable movie. So I'm going to give The Interview a B. So that's my thoughts on The Interview. What'd you think about it? Comment below, let me know. And what is your favorite Seth Rogen and your favorite James Franco movie? My favorite Seth Rogen movie would definitely have to be probably Pineapple. Yeah, it was definitely Pineapple Express. My favorite James Franco movie, I'd have to say 127 hours. That's my thoughts on it. And yeah, just stay tuned for my best and worst video. Subscribe, comment, like, whatever.